Hello, everyone. Again, I am joined by Cosmo Kuma. Uh,
Hey there.
I like to say that we're well acquainted, if not even friends. So I've gotta address the elephant in the room now, dude. You're a voice actor. How the hell did this even happen?
I was lucky enough to get noticed by some high talent herself. No, Stephanie actually is a viewer of ours on Cosmo 7, our Twitch channel, and she was like, I want them to voice act. And first of all, that caught me off guard. But I was like, sure, why not? And I was looking at some of her work already. And I was like, this is some good quality stuff. And as the project started to go along, I was like, oh, this is about to be lit. And it just became a really fun and cool experience to be a part of. I was just having a blast the entire time. But Stephanie is the whole reason how I got involved in the first place. It's entirely on her.
Yeah,
She was also
Stephanie's
yeah,
amazing.
she was also the voice director too, which I don't know if she's getting credit for that or not, but she directed a lot of us in the right direction for the entirety of the Bkgd project itself.
I watched it quite a few times. I'm probably gonna watch it again because both it helps with the interviews and also it's a really
Really?
good. Yeah, it's actually really good. Not like actually because I don't want anyone to think that I doubted Stephanie. It's just more I don't know what I was expecting walking into this and I'm just like, "Oh my god. I love this."
No,
Like,
you're absolutely on the exact same boat that I was in. It's like I don't want to say actually because again, I already saw some of her artwork before. I was aware of what she was capable of, but as it started to come together, and I think the first time where I was sitting there and being like, "This is something different," was when we saw the rough draft, and I want to say that the only thing that was missing was music. I want to say, and I was like, "This is good, man. This is really good," and it just turned out so well. It just turned out so
oh
good, and I
yeah.
watch it. I watched it a few times. I know I watched it a few times. The rough draft version. Now that the final draft version, I can now jam out to some music as well. But it turned out really good. So I definitely know where you're coming from. Where it's like I don't want to just say wow, actually, but
Oh my god,
it's
it's
good.
actually good. Yeah, what's getting me is
Oh,
the
can I
actually.
curse?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I
yeah,
mean, you
it's
guys
fucking
cursed
good.
in the film, so
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, it's fucking good. It's really fucking good. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's really fucking good.
absolutely. I've said it across the multiple interviews, but I'm gonna say it again. Go and fucking watch it. Go watch the Big Kahuna, or else we can
As
fight.
you should. As you should. As you should. It's good stuff. Possibly the start to a whole new series. Ooh, who knows? Question
Actually,
mark.
actually, uh,
Hmm.
I was asking Stephanie during our interview. There was talks of what she wanted to do next. She said, "There's hope. There's hope that we may do more with the story because no one likes just a solid dead end." So I mean, I'm hoping we see more Joaquin.
Hey, man, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Whether it's me coming back or just someone else, I would love to see the Big Kahuna continue in some way, shape, or form. Um, I I like the project. I like the project a lot. Um, and I have faith that it could go somewhere if Stephanie uh, wanted to just do more with it. So
What
I
I'm
definitely do.
hoping she chooses to invest in it and hold on to it, but if she chooses to sell
Yeah,
it off too, I can see this going like major.
yeah, like easily. It's a cast of characters that clearly people love. I've read the comments. I've seen the fan art. There's already a community building around this, but just the characters themselves. People are loving the jokes, the brand of humor that there is, and just the vibes. Like it's very easy to see that this can take off somewhere. But then at the end of the day, the Big Kahuna is a great potential franchise, but it's all coming from Stephanie. So I really think at the end of the day, she's the one that is the real like
Right.
product. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, yeah.
It's
I'm
hard to
just
say
lucky
whether
that.
it would be her, be the Big Kahuna without her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm just kind of lucky that she picked me and Sparrow to join, and we were really just lucky.
Or talented. But
Maybe. Who knows? Who could say really?
speaking to your talents, I'm curious to know: do you feel like your time as a streamer, especially sitting alongside Sparrow as a stream duo, prepared you for this?
I'd say so. I did. a few bits of commercials back in the day for on-screen talent in college, but I was more the editing type behind the scenes. But ever since I've been streaming, I've gotten used to talking into a microphone at my desk. Um, just saying anything I want to say, but when it comes to like script reading and kind of doing a certain character, streaming definitely still helped then too, because we still do these scenarios on stream where we kind of get outside of ourselves and just have fun. And since this was such a fun project anyway, we just got to get a lot more loose with it. And whenever we got too crazy, Stephanie would ring us back in. But I think streaming definitely did help me out quite a bit in this scenario.
All right. And so, circling back to the film just a little bit, because definitely that's an important question, don't get me wrong, but I don't want us to lose sight of what we're talking about because I don't want to go down a streaming rabbit hole.
Fair.
Talk me through what the Big Kahuna feels like from the eyes of Joaquin. Like, if you had to put yourself in his shoes. Well, I guess you did put yourself in his shoes.
I did. I always kind of thought as myself as kind of an antagonist, somewhat of an antagonist. Like, obviously he's still a part of the boy or the group of main characters, but at the end of the day, I feel like a majority of the film he was kind of a prick, you know.
Yeah.
He's kind of an asshole to the main guy. So it's like I kind of just tapped into my own asshole-ish personality and started kind of digging into that a little bit. And Joaquin kind of sees himself as superior. He thinks that the Big Kahuna doesn't exist. It's just a silly little folk tale. You're just kind of picking on a little guy, and it's that kind of high school bully kind of idea where you just have a bunch of your friends and it's easy to pick on the little guy and everyone laughs, so you come out on top, and then you walk away and do it again in an hour or the next day. And that's kind of how I thought of it, and I think that with the direction of Stephanie, the direction that Stephanie gave me, it definitely was able to guide me in the right direction. And as we started to go through the film and get to a point where Big Kahuna is real, okay, now what? Okay, now I'm playing Joaquin as someone who's like, okay, well, shit, now we're in a situation where I was wrong. I can't really confront the fact that I was 100% wrong because we're in immediate danger right now. So let's get this shit going. You know what I mean? Let's get this shit going and figure it out. So maybe in the future there could be something where I have to think about how to play this character that I kind of played as an antagonist in a more better light, because he was wrong. But as it was right now, I think I kind of saw him as an antagonist for a majority of the time, and then antagonist turned friend at the end.
Of course. So since you had to sort of you tapped into an asshole side of you, but you were seeing yourself not necessarily within Joaquin, as a overlap, which character do you feel would you have best played, or would you have loved to have played instead?
Can I be 100% honest with you?
Absolutely.
I would have loved to do some voices, some noises, whatever you want to call it, for the Kahuna. I would have fucking loved it. I don't know.
That's on brand. That's on brand.
Yeah, you're very aware I love making some weird, disgusting noises, and I would have gone crazy on that. But that's not my role. That's not my role. I take a step back. I do what I'm asked. But if in a perfect world, I would have loved to do a little bit of something with that.
I feel like I can already hear it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I would have loved to do that, but again, I love the role that I was given, and I really attached myself to that character. But in a perfect world, I would have loved to make some sloppy, disgusting, wet, fishy noises.
I feel like I don't want to, and yet I do. We gotta know, what does the Kahuna sound like?
Something like...
Oh my god!
Something like, I don't know. I'm spitballing here, but we could have figured out something. Maybe like a water effect on there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a techie guy. Who knows? Whatever.
I mean, off the top of the head, that's definitely aquatic.
It sure is.
Okay. Now, it's no secret to anyone who knows you, but for those watching who don't, or just people in general, you're a major One Piece fan. From the nautical themes to the chasing of a legendary figure of speculation, I gotta know, was this kind of surreal for you to be able to star in your own version of the anime?
You know, I was thinking about this when I was actually recording. It's like this is a nautical adventure. I do love One Piece, so yeah, it's funny that you picked up on that. Honestly, I think it's a fine headcanon to just assume that this is in the world of One Piece. There's nothing so far that contradicts that. I'm just saying, nothing contradicts it so far. So it's very possible that this island exists somewhere in the Grand Line, and that Big Kahuna is just out there in the One Piece universe. So maybe it's canon. I don't know. I don't know though. But so far, nothing's contradicting it. I'll have to talk to Stephanie about it, see if we can work something out. But I'm just saying, nothing so far is contradicting it.
Stephanie, you got options now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we can contact Ichiro Oda.
So you're a voice actor now. Do you have any ideal dream roles in the future that you would just love to, or like concepts even to redub or reapproach?
Oh gosh. All right. Big questions. Um, I can't really say I have any specific roles that I say I want to play that character, but there are certain archetypes of characters that I do enjoy quite a bit. Where if that was ever offered to me, I kind of jump at it. Um, the archetype character that is the straight man character, I'm always drawn to. In the comedy duo, the straight man, the character who's like, "Hey, don't do that silly character. That's silly." For some reason, I'm always enjoyed those characters in cartoons or TV shows. They make me laugh like quite a bit. Like the silly person is silly and funny, but it's always the reaction of the serious character that makes me laugh. And then on the complete opposite side, the completely over the top evil character just for the sake of being completely over the top evil. If I had to give an example of that,
Mumbo
I'd say
jumbo.
like Mumbo Jumbo, or Mojo Jojo is another character who is exactly like that, just like overly cartoonishly mustache twirling evil, or like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. It's just like these characters are just so they're
Just
just so mean
out of this
and just
world.
so evil, and it's like, but it's cartoonishly evil, where it's like you kind of like them at the same time. But if you take their actions and put them in the real world, it's like obviously they're not gonna be
You're
evil. But
kind
in
of a
this,
bad person, but it's funny because it's fictional.
yeah, it's funny because it's fictional. I would love to play either one of those characters, or those character types, the straight man or the cartoonishly mustache twirling evil character.
So in a perfect world, you would have either been Daffy Duck or Mumbo Jumbo or Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? Let's go with. I'm locking in Mojo Jojo. Actually, I'm
All right.
locking that one in. Now that's gonna take some practice though, because that's a speech pattern
That,
that
that,
is very particular. But
yes.
I would practice the hell out of it if I saw an opportunity somewhere.
I mean, hell, you're a voice actor now. I'm
That's
sure you
true.
can do it.
That's true. I gotta do what I gotta do. It's a competitive field.
It is. But you're here now. You're here.
Hey, I'm in. Foot's in the door.
Speaking of your foot being in the door, if more people want to actually find you for potential opportunities or just because they're riding the wave and enjoying the vibes, where can they?
So you can primarily find me on Twitter. My @ is at Kuma Oni Oni. Um, it'll look like an art page because it is an art page. That's primarily what I am online as an artist, outside of the streaming duo for Cosmo 7. But if you would like to reach me for whatever reason, you can go ahead and find me there.
All right. Do you have anything upcoming that you want to shout out, or just other than the stream? I think you do tomorrow, right? Or
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time
I
of
mean
this
that's
recording, it'd be tomorrow.
Yeah, as of the time this recording, that'll be tomorrow. Shouting out anything, I don't really have anything particular to shout out. Like I said, I'm just a hobbyist artist online, and then also a hobbyist streamer. Um, don't really have any huge project coming up. Nothing really to plug. But hey, if you'd like to stop by stream, have a good time, and hang out with us, I definitely want to be opposed to that at Cosmo7 on Twitch. And then if you do need a commission for whatever reason, at KumaOniOni on Twitter.
You see that? He might draw you some feet pics.
Yeah, maybe. Add a tip, maybe we could talk about it.
Well, thank you so much, Kuma, for being here. Thank you again for even being in the Big Kahuna, because I will never stop singing that film's praises. It was so good. And then for it to be 11 minutes too, it's so easy to digest.
See, and that's actually the interesting thing. I thought that I don't know if I should say this, but initially when Stephanie gave us the time frame for the project, I was like, that's a long time for an animated like student film. I'm like, that's a long time. And then when she said that, other classmates were telling her the same thing. I was like, okay, so I'm not just tripping.
No,
But then she did it, and then she killed it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll shut the fuck up then. This is why I didn't say nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing after all.
Hey, Kum,
So,
if I'm gonna tell you nothing else in life, I'm gonna tell you when a black woman says she's gonna do something, she's gonna do
you right.
something.
Yeah, you ain't never told a lie. You right.
But thank you so much for being here. As always, I am Tabla Rosa, aka La Rosa Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty. Remember to spread love, go in peace, and remember that karma's real. Bye, everyone.